Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of the Catholic League Forum. I'm Mike McDonald, Director of Communications at the Catholic League, and joining me today is President and CEO of the Catholic League, Bill Donohue. Now, Bill, a lot of things going on in the world this week, and we dealt with quite a bit. And, dear viewer, do check out our website, catholicleague.org, for more information on everything going on at the Catholic League. Because today I do want to really sort of drill on a big topic for us this week, dealing with violence coming from the radical trans community, or just probably the trans community in general. And so this week started out on Monday with a very tragic event. Dear viewer, you're probably familiar with this, in Nashville, Tennessee, at Covenant Christian School, in which 6 people tragically lost their lives. 3 staffers and 3 9-year-old students were gunned down by a trans individual, Audrey Hale, who identified as Aiden Hale. I know we normally don't go with that.
It's a woman.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is a woman.
She may think she's a man.
Who, pretending to be a man, went by Aiden Hale online. So let's just be totally clear about what's going on here. The police acted very heroically and neutralized the shooter relatively quickly. As far as these things can go. And they discovered that the shooter, she had a manifesto that details, and the police have come out and said this was a targeted incident. Mm-hmm. So we know what's going on here. Of course, we haven't seen the manifesto yet. We'll get into that a little bit. But Bill, you take a very good look starting this week with why this is more than likely a hate crime, and looking broadly at how the trans community treats normal people in general. Can you tell us?
Right, yeah. And normal people, and that's the term we have to use, people. It's normal not to be in rebellion against your God-given nature. Your father determined your sex, all right? That's nature, and that's God working through the father to determine whether you're male or female. There's no third sex. So we should not, what's going on in this country is an attempt at thought control. It's totalitarian, it's pernicious, and we cannot allow it. Now, this woman, if she's not evil, then the word has no meaning. She intentionally went out to kill her pastor. Her pastor was counseling her because she needs help. She couldn't find him. So what did she do? She intentionally went looking for his daughter, and she killed the daughter. She's an evil person. Now, the media, and we're not saying that all transgender people are evil, that's insane. What we are saying, though, we need to take a look at. This is 4 instances of mass shootings by transgender people in the last 5 years. So there's something going on here. We know they're more likely to be suicidal and have suicidal ideation thinking about it. Almost all of them suffer from depression and anxiety. They're overwhelmingly homosexual, which is interesting because they hate homosexuals. They have decided that the gold star, blue chip, sexual minority is to be transgender. And by the way, almost none of them go through and finish the job surgically. They dress up differently. They call them different names. This is about a need to be affirmed and popularity contest with people. Do you know that 40% of the country in the entire country where you have this, it's 40% higher in California? And that is well-educated white people.
Yeah.
Their kids are doing this now. There's so many different permutations to this thing here, but the media are trying to play it like as if Christianity had something to do with it.
Right.
No.
There's
just
a lot
the
of
opposite.
There's a lot of that going on here that we're seeing. Definitely that the media is, first they tried doing the usual gun control.
Yeah.
And frankly, I'm tired of hearing all these Republicans trying to, we need to defend the Second Amendment. We need to actually get at root causes here. Let's actually look
Most
at that.
people get killed in this country. Get killed by a knife.
Get killed by a knife.
Did the knife
Yeah.
kill the person, or did the person with the knife kill the person?
Right. And the great line that's going around that the number one cause of death amongst children is guns. It's abortion, people. That is number one cause. And we got the media covering up about the manifesto. We don't need to see it. The FBI is refusing to comment if this is even a hate crime. They've come out and said it's not domestic terrorism. I don't know if this isn't domestic terrorism, then what is? You can't just go on a shooting spree.
She said
like
she
that.
resented going to the Christian schools.
Yeah, right. And terrorism has always been defined as using violence to advance political aims. That's what we have here. So riddle me that one, FBI. And you've got, again, concerning, you have these trans groups coming out saying, oh, we need to keep the manifesto hush. Meanwhile, in the Buffalo case,
Yeah.
within hours we knew that the guy was off his rocker, and it fit their narrative. But you got these trans groups saying, well, this could lead to contagion. What would be the contagion here? That more people are going to follow? But Bill, going a little bit on too far down that rabbit hole, you point to a good study, probably the gold standard, from Lisa Littman, a professor out of Brown, very smart, and you can kind of tell just looking at the facts here, in this case, that there was definitely some targeted violence. All the evidence is there. But Lisa Littman looks at this a little bit more broadly, and you look at it a little bit more broadly. Right, she looks at it as this is a social contagion, that these kids get into their head that one person in the friend group's
Of course,
trans,
she's right.
and then they all. Well, you take a look at some of the reporting that she found from these individuals, and points to that there is animus from the trans community
there's
in
hatred.
general.
And she's a
towards-
physician. She's not, one of these flaky political science professors or somebody. This is a physician, and she's been persecuted because she tells the truth. You can't tell the truth about gays and lesbians and transgender people in this country if you work in academia. It's all skewed one way. Dr. Paul Sullins is a great sociologist and a priest, and he's documented what the American Psychological Association and others have been doing. They censor anything which is regarded. That's why we have what he calls a monoculture. Everything is one existent. Yeah, the hatred of straight, normal people, and of white people, and of Christians, and of Christian males. I guess that would be you.
Yes, that would be me.
Yeah. I'm self-identifying today as I always like to say I'm a Chinese dwarf. I've been saying that for years. Nobody seems to believe me though. I don't know why. They keep thinking I'm a big Irishman. Where do they get this idea? Anyhow, Lisa Littman, give her credit there. There's a lot of hatred there. And of course, it's a lot of it's self-hatred because it's not normal to be in rebellion against your God-given and your nature-ordained sex. It's not your gender. That's a sociological term. It's your biology. That's what we're talking here. Biology 101. You're either male or female.
Yeah.
There's no third. Okay?
Yeah, just a little bit another tangent. Arsene Wenger, who used to manage at Arsenal, he had this great line explaining why Arsenal was losing all the time. That reality, that true happiness is where your reality and your expectations are in alignment. And I think that is just absolutely true here because their reality is never going to be in line with their expectations.
No, they'll always be unhappy.
Yeah. And it's not just the media that's lying about this,
No.
Bill. The great titan of the House, AOC, is very big on promoting the notion that the violence against the trans community is coming from the white Christian males.
Yeah.
They're the ones causing all of the violence. They're doing all the violence.
That would be like her husband.
Yes.
Her
yes.
husband.
He's
He's a white guy. She chose a white guy. That's interesting.
and anyone who's watched a police show always hears the line, it's always the nearest and dearest. And you had a hunch on that, and you went through and actually looked at a lot of the data, and it seems that the trans community doesn't need to be afraid of the white Christians. It's where does most of the violence come from?
From themselves. They have a propensity to violence. This is transgender people in general. They have a propensity to violence. Intimate partner violence. You have to go with the lingo, people. If you just try to find transgender violence on the internet, you're going to find it. Go look at intimate partner violence, okay? IPV. And you will find that the people who are the most likely to be victimized who are transgender are by other transgender people. All right? Now, I had a hunch this was right because we know that who else is going to hang around with these people except for people like themselves? That was my hunch. Then I did the research, and I found out that exactly I was right, that you're most likely to be victimized by another person of the same kind of mental disorder, which is what transgender is. And that's unfortunate, but the idea, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, blaming cisgender, meaning normal people who are not in rebellion against their God-given nature, she likes to blame them. She has no evidence for it. She has slandered people. And this is a deflection away from the serious mental crisis that exists with transgender people. They don't need to be scorned and bullied. They need to stop the bullying of people who are normal, That would be a start. But they also need to be treated for their maladies, not treated in terms of switching to the other sex, which they can't do anyhow. So we're living in an era of madness, and we will not cooperate with it. The Catholic Church believes in truth. Remember what Pilate said, right? He said to Jesus, what is truth? Well, we're dealing with it today.
Yeah. And, just to conclude, this is a very tragic incident in Nashville, and obviously our prayers go out to everyone that's impacted by this. But also we should keep in our prayers people that have fallen for this derangement, delusion, that are being lied to and being forced to perpetuate the lie.
Right.
So again, as Catholics,
Right.
we do have compassion for people. So that's just some sad stuff going on there. Dear viewer, if you're interested in what we talked about here, do check out our website, catholicleague.org. We have a lot of other things going on the website as well, a lot of other big news stories, so do check those out. While you're there, do consider signing up for our email, so this way you can get involved and stay up to date on everything going on here. And consider becoming a member. We're a member-driven organization, so any support that you can give us greatly goes a long way. And as always, if you can give this video a like and subscribe to help us get the numbers up. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.